place and pass it out. That's my first. Well, IR has grown from very humble beginning. We started in a little house in Salika, and what it is today. It was started in 1998, but I just showed you some pictures of what it was when I joined. I joined in 2000. By then we were already in Amada, and I joined as a volunteer actually, and I was fortunate enough to get this job. At that time, we just had 70 temporary cages, 7 staff, which included the vet and the manager. I just got a few pictures to show you what it was in those days. Very basic.
Astrid.
I think I done the technical. Unless there's something specific for the slide. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So, go back to. Sorry, that doesn't seem to go back.
Oh.
Okay.
So the one you showed where the early days.
Yeah.
So at that point, how many animals were there?
70 dogs.
70 dogs.
And maybe about 10 cats. And over the last 12 years, IER has grown to an organization that can boast of having its own permanent structure that holds 100 dogs and about 25 cats and 10 to 15 cows. This is what it is now. Okay, these are the kennel blocks which hold dogs. We now presently have 30 staff, which includes 6 vets, 3 nurses, 10 kennel boys. IR has gradually increased its scale of operations from a modest ABC. Sorry. Doesn't go back. It doesn't go back, so tap it before, then I won't be able to go back. It just doesn't go back. It's all stuck.
Doesn't matter to me. For a glimpse.
I think I just read out because
Yeah. We'd like to see the visuals also. It'll be nice.
yeah, I'll try to do that, but I just
Yeah,
read
fine.
for
Let's go for the show. Yeah.
Please start and go to the
Will it take time to?
it doesn't go back.
No.
You have to go up to the end and then start again.
Oh, you can close it.
No.
Okay.
It's done. So IR has gradually increased its scale of operations from a modest ABC program, providing consultations, wildlife rescue and treatment with the help of the forest department, and a lot of well rescues and different things. We have a 24-hour emergency service for accident cases, snake bites. We have our X-ray facilities, ultrasound. And today the team we have carries out simple wound training basically from wound suturing to complex orthopedic surgeries. IR over the period has gradually grown to a name associated with rescue in Goa, quality service, a dedicated staff, and a very motivated team. Some of these success points I'd like to share with you. It doesn't go back, so I'll yeah. Look okay. Yeah. So I'd like to share some of the points that we would use to help us go ahead to protect, because as you all know, the jobs we do are very tough jobs. You got to do it, we got to do it, and it's not easy. Okay. So what is success? What do you rate as success? One of the greatest pitfalls that most organizations make is that they compare their growth with another organization or with somebody else. Or what really is success? I would say success is not measured by how well you do as compared to others, but compared to what we are capable of. So this is my definition of success. Okay. Now one has to set its own standards. For your own organization, you have to have your own standards of excellence, pursue them, set dreams and fulfill them. One of the ways that we at ARIA are doing, we have our quality manual. I can't give you pictures of that, so I just have a thing, but the manual has everything from how to clean a cage to, we can't write veterinary procedures as such, but the basic things what a vet would follow, what we would follow, and it gets updated every year. We read out, check how we doing things, or we want to change something, then it gets changed. Another definition of success is not measured by how high we rise, but how many times we bounce back when we fall down. And all of us have this problem. Now what is it that keeps us going? It is thinking positive. A lot of what we do, what we get, the results we get depends on how we think. Just remember, positive things happen to positive people. So always think success, not failure. Decide on your dreams and goals. Dreams are not what you see at night, but what don't make you sleep at night. So if we have a dream set, we need to work towards it, right? If all of us keep doing the things that we always did, then you keep getting the results that you always got. I think most organizations do this mistake of growing, I won't say most, but a lot of organizations do this mistake of growing their goals for years, months, with their goals still attached to the how. So you're growing and growing, but you're not getting any results.
Not moving forward.
Not moving forward. So, like I said, write down your goals and develop a plan to reach them. What you think is what you get. It might take time, it might take ages, but you get what you think. Positive thinking alone, we spoke of positive thinking, but positive thinking alone will not produce you the result. We have to put in some effort, right? Therefore, progressive organizations need to dream big and work to convert their dreams into reality. There are only two types of failures that exist. Those that thought and never did, and those that did and never thought. There was once an artist who was asked, how do you do such lovely paintings? And his answer was, I first dream and then picture. And everybody knows Helen Keller, and when she was asked, what is worse, being blind or deaf? She said, to have eyes and not have vision. Now in context of the animal world, if we see the lions and tigers, basically those animals, they have their eyes in front, okay, to be able to focus on their prey. And animals like rabbits, the deers, they have the eyes in the side to have wider vision. So at some point you need to stop and think in which group we fall. Be focused or have wider vision. Then we spoke already about take action. I would say write your goals on a diary. I have a diary which is probably 5 years old, where every time I think of something that might help the organization, I would write it down. And years back it was written time we got it. I did an ultrasound. It took me 5 years to get it, but we got it. So I'd say write your goals. It will take time, but you will achieve it. And take some action, meaning every day the action might be a little action, but it's towards the goal. So every little action helps. Be persistent and hard work. Now, how do we get this hard work? Everybody is working hard, but how do we achieve it? That's because everybody who's in animal welfare is basically committed. They are there because they have a passion for animals. Commitment with passion. Converting dreams into reality needs a shift from involvement to commitment. Commitment can be better explained by the following analogy of a hen and a pig. They say there was a hen and pig who left home and they were passing by a church and they heard the pastor end the sermon with, how do you think you can help feed the dying people? So the hen remarked, that's easy. I'll give the eggs, you get pig. The pig sadly said, that's easy for you, not for me. I'll have to die for that. So that's the difference between, he said to the hen, yours is an involvement, mine is a commitment. So that's the difference between involvement and commitment. True organization success comes from commitment. Commitment with a passion. Passion is what converts mediocrity of warm water into steam. And steam makes things run. Passion basically is your key to success. It is what keeps the organization going when the chips are down. Robin Sharma would say, be a rock star at work. When you go to work, be passionate and give all that you have. It's your stage. Perform. Let people turn around and say, wow, you done it. Just remember, whether you are a doctor, a nurse, or just another ghetto boy, regardless of your profession, there is no competition. Most people are, if you see, just find out or check it out. Most people do what they are less than what they are paid for. A small portion will do work enough, like just what they are paid for. And there is a very few small percentage which will work more than what they are paid for. So if we have this sort of a group, then where is the competition? We have no competition. We stand out. So these are, I think, and all those working for animal welfare, you are the one standing out. You are the geniuses there. So you've already reached the top. So there is no sort of competition. You are standing out. It's just how you put things together. In NGOs, it is not possible to work long hours with lesser pay with the animals unless you are passionate about animals. So when you're recruiting people, just make sure that you look at this aspect. Like we would make sure that if you're employing a kennel boy, we would take them to the kennel, see their attitude towards the dog, give them a chain and take them out, ask them to take it out for a walk. So with that, from the body language, you're already understanding whether this guy is passionate about animals, whether he likes animals basically. Even if you're employing office staff, if you have animals around them, you can see their body reaction. From that, you can, figure out whether these people will really.
That's a beautiful point you brought up. Very, very valid.
Thanks. You we'll all agree that your job and my job in animal welfare is the most challenging of all the work in the world. And it is our passion that keeps us going. A high jumper was once asked, how do you achieve these great heights? And his answer was, I throw my heart first and then my body follows. I would have a little bit of shift here. I would say, when you're managing an organization, be a leader rather than a manager. Winners empower, that's something that Shiv Kera would say. And that's what a leader would do, would empower the staff. Empowering doesn't mean giving them powers without training. You need to train the person. Otherwise it is empowerment means delegation of authority, but only after training. Otherwise, it is like giving a gun to somebody that is not trained. When you talk about being a leader, let's look at what actually employees want. What do they want? We have people working for us. But we need to understand them. We need to look at what do employees want. The number one thing that employees want is they want to be cared for. They want to feel cared for. It is not money. There was a research done some time back. I think it was the Times of India, and it brought out this thing that it was not money that kept people going. It was the bonding with the place. It was feeling cared for. As a leader, you can make somebody's day or you can break the day. It is how you deal with people under you. Then at the end of the day, either you are putting them down or you are motivating them. So, senior management, supervisors are the most powerful factors in motivating your staff. See, we must understand that especially kennel boys or the boys that are doing the lowest form of job in your organization, but they are the most important ones. They are the valued ones. You need them. They're doing a job that most people wouldn't like to. And they are not coming from some educated background, they're coming from, with little less education. And we need to do things to motivate them, make them feel good. That's how they will stay, that's how they will feel like working. Get to know them as individuals. Effective leadership requires you to understand each individual. What are their goals? What is it that they at some point aspire to be? They wanted to be something. What would they like to do? Are they enjoying what they're doing? Would they like to do something more interesting? When you know your staff, you will realize that, okay, this person will do better in this kind of a job. You will interchange. You will have rotations to understand your staff and to keep them very active and invested in what they're doing. So I can say something here, leaders need to know more than just the spouses and ages of the staff working for you. They need to understand the employees who are entrusted with their care. I use the word entrusted because you are able to mold them into better animal people, or they just pop off from the organization. At the last point, I would say that sometimes you would have a staff member that's, just for example, you would have somebody who's invested in maybe wildlife or with snakes. You could help him achieve that goal by maybe sending him for some training, some more things. that keeps his interest going. Understand the needs and concerns of people who work for you. Put yourself in your employee's shoes. A lot of times we tend to say, do this, do that, do that. But we never tried ourselves. We have complaints about how they do it. But if we tried ourselves, then we probably understand more. They also look at you with a lot of respect. Because you can see that okay, somebody has tried it and then is trying me that this is right and this is wrong. Listen more than you talk. I'm sure everybody has this problem. At the end of the day, when your employees go home, you're wondering whether they will be back the next day or they will turn up saying that they're not well or they have some work or they leave the job. We all need to work as a team, and when you call a team, this is what I would define as a team. Together, everyone achieves more. And I'm sure that all of you will agree. So the last, it was just a little video showing beautiful work with a team. If you read about these migrating, I'm sure all of you have seen that they always fly in a V shape. There is a reason for it because it improves the effectiveness by 71%, which is what a team is. If you move together in a common direction and you have an understanding between each other, that's what we achieve. At India, when we do a new kind of a job, like we try to have some programs that will involve the staff together. This is just pictures of different things done on the beach. It was a vaccination camp, it was a vaccination drive to vaccinate all the dogs on the beach. So I just got all the pictures together rather than showing all separately. Okay, but this thing, I find things like these really motivate people. It, for example, for this thing, the staff were up on the beach at 7:30 in the morning, which is early in the morning compared to what they would come to work. But they were all excited. They were all, at the end of it, they were very happy that they had done something. So things like these do make a difference. This is just a picture of when you do the town messaging. There also you have to work as a team. This is a turtle that we had treated, but when it was time to release it, it was ready. We had the full staff go together just to have that feeling because everyone was involved for the turtle. Like we had to build a tank. So what we do is when things like these we have to make. It's not the manager who tells us what to do. We have an idea, we put it out to the boys, get their inputs, and then you always have somebody from the boys who is talented or very good. We have got one boy, Maila. He's got a lot of ideas, and we would then keep him in charge. So he tells all of us what should be done. But we would work together. That I think creates a lot of nice feeling between staff. So this is when we release the turtle. Innovative practices and benchmarking. Everybody has something to share. Every organization has something. So what we would like to do is look at other people and incorporate whatever best fits us. So we are open to learn new things and think of better ways. as long as we can improve the quality for the animals. If you see this picture, we had problems with the dogs. Initially when Anila started, we were moving every dog in the whole. Now we have this, I won't be able to point out because I think it will just move. You see the yellow page that has the form and all the details are on that form. So the form will start from the time the dog is picked up. We will enter everything there. The drivers will enter exactly which location it is brought from. And then every day the vets are entering on that. Everything gets entered. Be the rabies vaccine, be the note for the next vet. So in this way each dog has got a special sheet. So there is no mixing up of dogs and...
Can I ask you one thing?
Yeah.
See, this is a very ideal situation where you're going for kennel confinement of the dogs rescue. But actually, in natural situations, they hardly get this much facilities to go for centering of rescued animals. How do you manage in that case?
That is true, but see, we also have, now I'm not talking of disaster, because disaster is a totally different issue. We're talking here of an organization, something that is already set up. Now we used to run camps in different places, like we moved from, see we are situated in north of Goa, and there was a group right down south in Palo Alto, and it takes us 2 hours to drive, which was ready to help out, and there was no NGO there. And at that time we took it up. We used to leave our center at about 7:50 in the morning and reach there at 10:50. And what we had, the space was a poultry farm, which was not being used. So it was just, we had to clean up everything. We just had cages.
That's fine, but you don't work in disaster situation?
Disaster is a different issue, sir. We can't mix up disaster with an organization. Here we're talking of getting most from an organization. Helping every organization is already set up. We also had small cages. But even then we were using this system. The forms we were using there. It is on every dog, it's in one place. They're not mixed up a separate cell for each dog. No.
I want to, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So you can see the dog is there and the form links to that. And it is on the end. And if it's in the cage form, then it will be placed on the cage. So these are both because we don't have like a separate system. We look at which animal is suffering. That will be our
We also do it similarly, but what I really want to know is how do you manage your night rescue? Because we also do night rescue, but we don't say we're doing 24-hour rescue. Well, we definitely want to do that. We say we want to do it. How do you manage? Do you have 2 shifts of staff, or how do you motivate them? Because that is a big problem. Like I'm being a trustee by time. When I call, I don't know. But I know there are times when they phone calls are not answered. No matter how, it's very difficult to keep.
No, actually we don't.
These are little problems beyond humans. We are not superhuman beings. So I want to know how do you overcome the. Would you like to say that?
No, I would first like to say, but then I will tell you something how we dealt with it.
Actually, what I said, the snake and the accident, those are. We don't have enough staff to have rotation like the ship system. It's not enough staff.
Same.
And we don't go down at night with the animals unless there is some particular situation where the dog, say the animal, appears only in the evening. And there is somebody ready to say, okay, dog at this time, I feed the dog, something like that. Then I must say that I'm lucky to have boys that are enthusiastic and they would go. But we don't have it regular thing.
See, that's exactly. Even we have boys who are very enthusiastic. Even 3 at night they will go if you call them. But that is why, because we can't, like you said, 24 rescue, which I would never like because I feel if you say it, then you are bound by the whole statement.
But I said the 24-hour, I specify snake bites and accidents. See, what is happening in Goa, private vets, nobody would come at night. So the animals cannot go anywhere. So what we have is, we just have night shifts for the vets. But they don't stay there. They don't stay there. We just call the vets.
We have a night vet as well. But you know, sometimes there is, there's a, you know, there's a driver at the beer. But now we put it,
So we have one boy at night. We don't have space and anything for them to sleep at all. So they all are about 10 to 15.
Actually, we have a 24-hour but they are shifts.
Yeah.
A special driver for the whole day to Bombay for
Yeah.
accident cases. Emergency cases, there are about minimum of 6 a day. So we have to have
we have
that.
10 to 15 and 3 of these nesters. In a day in general. You have to be there in 5 hours. Yeah, tell me what you were going to share.
Yeah, so I just want to share our experience. So we use very reluctant
Yeah.
as you said, once you put it,
Yeah, then you can't have people screaming and shit.
you can have tell somebody who's calling you and tell you, yeah, that was today. So what we make sure when we did the 24-hour helpline was that we had a driver who was taking the first 5 minutes of our shelter. Who was staying, the driver.
What state?
Who would stay, who would decide, who would like we have a, designated caretaker. So the driver who gave the taking of the BS. Number 2 is when we said sometimes accidents we have had calls at 2 a.m. in the morning and things like that. So what we do is that to motivate, I mean again, I think Dr. very nicely put this whole motivation aspect. So what we do is that
I'm just like to show you, if you see this little red tag, we have this thing of extending the dog street. The idea is to make the dogs friendly, so that when they left back in the street, they are friendly dogs, and in case they come somebody, they will come back to us. So that is a little wooden tag. The thing is, we have when people walk them, they will turn it. The other side is yellow. So from that we can come to know which dogs are walked and not walked. This is our message recording. No, if they are aggressive, the staff boys will sit to them, will talk to them, and just give them biscuits or something. Just to check out the shop out. And for that we will have special tags for them. They are written tags. So that tag will be put so that everyone understands this is an aggressive dog. Be careful. No, they go back.
so you don't have a shelter, your shelter has always got, you have permanent,
We already have 20 permanent dogs. We can't have
Yours is a hospital like ours, like health and suffering. Yeah.
It has to move.
It has to move, yeah.
Keeping dogs in.
It's not a sanctuary, it's a hospital.
So this is our message recording system. Because we used to have this problem that you take a message, then you don't do it that day, you forget about it, things like that. So it's all in computer.
is it electronically maintained? What do you do?
Right.
All your messages are as soon as it comes, it's electronically maintained.
Towards the end of the day, yeah, they're all telephone calls only.
Oh, okay.
But they will be all recorded into yeah, one of our staff. Then when we take the call, we write it on a piece of paper. We have got the forms for that. Okay, but then they transcript it.
Different people would be taking the call.
Everything goes in and something has fault in his head, so the office will just call the driver and say message number so and so is attended, he's in that area. That's the idea of it. We just spoke of being innovative. So this is normally the boys used to carry this. Okay, this is just a little towel to say it becomes quite a hassle when you're carrying a dog and it's a little bit of a distance from our where the kennels are. These are healthy dogs. These are dogs that are sedated, sedated and going to the service. Now this is we had this eagle with a broken leg which we fixed, and it was a baby, so we had to teach it to fly. Now normally you would have leather gloves and the special equipment. We don't have all that, so we just, if you see the red towel, that's a towel actually. It just wrapped around the hand and we use it. This is something, when an obstacle comes your way, stop crying and start trying. This is one of my favorite things. Every time I have a problem, I just keep telling myself that every problem has a solution. And I think it's true, and we just have to look for that solution. And this is another thing. Spend less time worrying who's right and more time in what is right. Never stop learning. This is, I think, something which we are learning till we die. So, we also would encourage people working with us or under us to learn. All our vets will be on the net, trying to find a solution. There is a problem. Sometimes we will get some animal or wildlife that we have never treated. But they will be on the net, they will search, they will try to be in touch with the experts. Sometimes we even email them the X-rays or pictures of what the condition is and ask for advice. Just like go back to school. It's important actually. This is another very important thing which I consider. Get all the inputs. And never mind, you made a mistake, or make up something, learn from those mistakes. This aspect, I think, is very important, how we deal with people, especially people working long hours, because we all know the stress factors are very high. So it just takes a little bit of one wrong word and somebody will feel like, oh, that's the end. So these are a few things that do matter. I think this is very, very true. We tend to feel like I did this and I did that. So it's the most selfish work. So just avoid it. This I think feels very nice when we say we did it. Even if somebody is not involved in your team, but you say we did it, then the person also feels nice. Jobs that we do, I think this is really makes a difference. We can't have egos. We need to let go, and that's how we're all working for one goal. And that's how we do it. To conclude, I'd say great organizations don't just happen overnight. They require 4 ingredients: effort, focus with devotion, focus with devotion, daily, small improvements, and time. So if each of us know how invaluable we are and what a difference we make to animals, it makes it easier for us to work when you think back of these things and realize what impact you make, what a difference you make to the animals. Thanks a lot, and thank you for very good.
That was a very good question.
If anybody has questions,
Just of the
I could do the test if you would like. I could, whatever my notes, I could just points. I will email IDs. Okay.
For your 100 dogs, how many vets will be required?
They are 6 vets, but our 6 vets are doing ABC on one side. We run an outpatient clinic. We've got an OPD, so they're doing that. One vet is there. One vet is checking all the dogs in the kennels. I'm one of the vets, so I'm like half. And then we have a cat on the street, cattle rescue.
So you have a mobile.
Not mobile exactly, like how we have the messages, somebody will call up and say you have an injured cow here, can you help?
So the vet attends. The vet attends.
Yeah.
So
If it's something just where we know that okay, the cattle has to be brought back, then they just bring it, otherwise that goes down.
We have a voice to well pick up as accident cases or sick animals, or if you get a call,
That's like our voice.
you have voice to go and
Yeah, we've got 3 drivers and 10 boys.
Okay.
So we put them in rotation. Like every time it's not the same person going out. If he's not in the morning, then afternoon another boy will go. We try to keep it that way.
Dogs like group ABC, like in areas, you pick up dogs one day, about 10 dogs a day in that area, or we do random offhand.
No, what happens is we try to do that, but our biggest problem is any animal suffering, like an accident or something, then we drop it and we just move and bring the animal first or the baby dog first. But we try to do that, like at least we don't pack them in vehicles. We have our cages, individual cages. So we will catch them and put them in a cage. So we lift up the cage and put it so it's less stressful to the dog.
So the case can be taken out and
Yeah,
It's
the
not
cage is
fixed in
for
the-
mobile. I don't know if you saw it yesterday. We brought in 2 dogs for the laparoscopy surgery. It was in a cage and then we just lifted the cage and put it out.
Are you doing laparoscopy surgery? In your no. You are but taking medicine.
Astrid, you think it rude of me if I just intervene for a second relating to the cage? Forgive me. Thank you, Astrid, for your excellent talk. There's one thing that I want to emphasise relating to this, and why we have dogs in individual cages, and why we have the dog walking system that's set up to make sure that every dog is concerned. And that is that we all believe in IAR that the most terrible thing is mental stress and suffering. And regretfully, we all inflict mental stress on the animals that we catch. It is part of what we do. But what we aim to do at IAR is we look at everything that we do to try to reduce the stress level. When we're out catching dogs, for instance, we make sure that we've got a transport cage as close to the point of capture as possible, so that we can, the second the animal's caught, the cage is there, the animal's in it, and the noose is taken off, and immediately the animal settles down because it doesn't fit into it. They get taken into the kennels, and from the moment they're caught, the moment they're in that cage, one of the most common things that everybody hears me shouting about is, talk to the bloody thing, for Christ's sake. Because the human voice of everything that we have got and where we can help animals, the most important thing of all is your voice. Just a few gentle words means the difference between an animal being absolutely out of its mind with terror, or thinking, oh, all right, these people don't mean me any harm, I know that. And I still apologise for interrupting them, but I'll give you a classic example. I've had the Major General staying with me, and while he was there, the Forestry Department brought me yet another baby monkey, which was totally terrifying. Now, regretfully, most people who have monkeys, and that is exactly the same with dogs, cats, whatever, shove it in a cage and leave it. And yet the most important time is the first 24, 48 hours to reassure that animal that there's nothing to be frightened of. If it's left in a cage on its own, its mind's going to be whirling and the stress is going to build up and up and up because it's terrified of what's happening. This baby monkey, we've had it in our bedroom, and within a matter of hours, just by sitting there talking to it, calmly reassuring it, within a matter of 3 hours, I had this monkey sitting on my hand. And it's exactly the same with dogs and cats. It really annoys me when I see my staff catching a dog and putting it in a cage and carrying it back to the ambulance. If I don't see them reassuring that dog, it mortifies me. Because that's the very time, the most important time. All right, little darling, it's okay, baby, nothing's wrong. And the animal just thinks, okay. So, of all the things, despite the organisational aspect of international animal rescue, I always passionately believe, and I hope people jump in, but I passionately believe that talking to the animal is just about the most important thing. And for some reason, I don't understand it, but human beings seem to find it impossible to talk to animals. And this is worldwide. I used to be a dog trainer in the Royal Army Veterinary Corps. And we had huge problems. When we trained a dog, we had huge problems getting people, when we handed the dog that had been trained over to a dog handler, we had terrible problems getting them to talk to the dog. And I used to have them out on the parade ground with an imaginary dog, and I used to make them talk to them. There's a good boy, no, you, that's a good boy, all right, darling, you, and just, it sounds crazy, but just talking to an animal like that, it means the world. And coming on from that, the most important thing is, we've just done a vaccination camp down in Bangkok, where we've revaccinated 42 dogs in a very short period of time. And out of the 42 dogs, because of our policy of befriending them while they're in the kennel, 40 of those dogs, 40 of them came to us. We didn't go to them, they came to us. And only 2 had to be caught on the dog pole. And both of them, the second they were caught, they settled down and started talking to them, patted them, vaccinated them, took the dog catcher off and made a point of praising them before they went on. Now you think that man-hours we would have wasted trying to catch those 40 dogs. So it may seem as if it's a waste of our time, but at the end of the day it's not. And the other important thing is if one of our little babies gets injured and we just dump it out on the street, it's been terrified, it's experience of us. My God, those horrible people, they terrorise people. You'll never catch it. Whereas with the majority, I would say 80% of the dogs that we release, if we've got a problem with them, we don't have any problems getting them. And in fact, I've actually seen dogs running behind our ambulances because they know that we give them biscuits. So
I think that's a very beautiful that. But you know, we had if you allow me to share a story with everybody, we had this dog, a master came with this beautiful black Labrador very recently to our shelter, and he said, my own dog has bitten me, attacked him. And everybody I read said that, if he's a dangerous dog, he's bitten me. And I like to believe more in compassion and do not believe in euthanizing animals unnecessarily if he is given a proper kind of run. So we kind of, our whole team decided that no, let's keep him for a few days. Next day his neighbor came and he said this animal was treated very badly, he was dying, he used to leave them for weeks together in the house, locked up. And nobody, none of the vets wanted to touch that dog for a few days except some of our helpers who are Ritu, who works with patients, attended the other session. She started talking to the dog and within a day, 2 days, we shifted him to a more friendlier kennel where he could see more people. And today the dog must be gorgeous black Labrador. We want him to completely, and he's already become friendly with ladies in the evening. They could go and walk. He's befriended everybody. In fact, he's scared of the other dogs. And the same with monkeys. Like you said, we have one guy, Suresh, who can have the most dangerous macaque coming. And I think he's gifted. He's like a whisperer. And he gets into the cage and all of them are happy. They come out of the cage somewhere when they're cleaning and feeding. Because we release them in a pack. And Suresh is the only one who can get them back into the big monkey. You're so right about communication.
I apologize. Me and my big dog.
So our biggest challenge is animal handling. As you rightly pointed out, we have many times tried to inculcate that sense of compassionate behavior to animals. But for whatever reason, it is not something you can front of you, they may practice it and they may not do it. How do you begin courses? Or how do you get people to consistently or change their behavior?
I have an idea. We could do a little exchange thing where we could send our people to, it does these things. If you allow us, maybe, it's always they learn through interaction, sometimes working.
On that, Astrid will tell you that we've got these step down. We had a kennel manager. He's now decided to become a driver. But this poor kennel manager, everybody used to take the mickey out because I bawled and shouted at all the staff so much. And if you see me going through the kennel, I never walk past the dog's kennel without stopping. Just, I walk on this. Hi, darling, you're right. Oh, I love one. Good boy. Yeah, good. All right, darling. And this member of staff of mine, the manager called Krishna, he copied me to an absolute T. Everybody used to take the mickey out of him because he was brilliant. And just doing that. So you did it. But unfortunately, for some weird reason, it's a psychological. I'm a complete raving nut, so it comes naturally to me. But people feel inhibited, and you've got to get them over that inhibition. And what mad as it seems, one of the best ways is to make them stand there and talk to an imaginary dog. Because if they can talk to an imaginary dog, they can certainly talk to a real dog. And that has always been, they see me doing it and looking a complete idiot, and they think, well, if the boss can look a complete idiot, then
But you're so right, because I have a friend who's at field who talks to my, dogs are trying to become old and lazy, don't talk to me. When I talk to them, and his friend comes and she goes and she calls, and they start responding and rolling with her and talking to us.
There is a joining room at the moment. We just got our exam using it. Using the second surgery that we have. We need to walk medical. We usually that room that we we are also gives you a specification of the wall should be. It should have only one door. No windows. So as long as you don't do that.
Just an approximately a number, say maybe of last year, how many animals did you have in your shelter in a year?
See, what our target is, we do 200 dogs. We sterilize 200 dogs a month.
Okay.
Okay, that is our ABC. Apart from ABC, we are also doing some other like Maggie homes, somewhere
Right.
it's already operated and all.
Right.
So those would amount to another 650 in a month. So approximately we have around 250 only dogs coming in a month. And we do about 100 cats. Not that many.
250 other than this.
No, 80 plus.
Totally true.
It depends on the season when we spend.
Yeah.
On an average. On an average, it comes to around 250 dogs a month.
And how many cats you have?
Well done,
You
Astrid.
get puppies. Puppies we keep them for adoption. That's another different section which we don't add to these things.
But
We
you
have
keep them in your shelter?
yeah, in our shelter, but we have a separate, it's completely separate. It's attached to the cat side because we don't transfer diseases. And the boy who does the puppies will not keep the dogs. So that there's no cross. And we also have like adult cats and kittens. But that unfortunately we're not able to do it completely separate. But we try to do it separate. We just have one big cage for the little bigger kittens so they can run and play around with toys
How do you
inside.
keep the puppies? You keep them separate or?
Puppies are in batches. We don't keep any single puppy.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
enclosed.
They are small cages. In the nights they are there, but between the shed, the puppy pen area, to the compound wall, we have a little bit of space. So we have a sitting area. I made a little gate there, so we just let the puppies play during the day.
And suppose you get one that's sick.
If they're sick, unfortunately, you have to put them down because
I know there's
it is a
very
tough
difficult.
thing. It's very difficult for. I know there will be a big debate if I go on it, but the fact is that if you try saving this one puppy,
It's very
you're having a
infectious.
batch of like 20-30 puppies gone.
That's what.
How often do you have on your farm?
See, because we are very careful with the puppies. The new puppies are kept separate. Every day the vet is checking them. And looking for signs that there is no mixing. If there is loose motion, even the boys know it that okay, if they don't mix this puppy, they will be separate. So that way we have brought it down. But once a month at least, or once in 45 days, it happens when we get this thing. Because winter time there's this rice problem. So it's very difficult.
How many cats do you do this? How many cats do you sell?
In a month, 80 to 100. 80 to 100, yeah. Fortunately, there is another lady, Karen by name. She's got her own little thing. She's passionate about cats. It's called Poor Darlings, but it's not any NGO. She does it on her own. So every Monday, she sends us about 8 cats. So we operate it for her, and she takes them and she does the like after
These are
strays from the markets roaming around. And she will also find homes for kittens. So what she does is she will give the kittens, but she will go around taking these
don't
cats
have many
when it's time
cats
for
in
adoption.
Chester.
And then post-operative she takes care.
Yeah, she's doing it for I think 15 years or so.
What is the post-operative care that you give? You give
We
antibiotics?
just, no, we just use one short time.
You have to vaccines for cat therapists. But
Yeah.
it was very difficult to get that vaccine.
Yeah, it's not, there is
Yeah.
no vaccine available.
Yeah.
Now there is some problem with the info, but I think it should be resolved in a while. We do have it, but it's not possible to vaccinate those stray cats. Because
Give ARV,
it's expensive.
anti-rabies.
We give anti-rabies to the cats.
I know it's expensive. There isn't available. We've been looking for cat vaccines.
No, it's not.
It's now this few months now there is a problem because there's some problem with the info. But I think that should be solved.
They said 3-4 months.
Yeah.
These 200 dogs you get for ABC, how do you get them?
We have a driver and
Dog cat
boys.
So they go to a certain area and pick
One thing is we are having messages. I mean, there are times when we just tell the boys just go out and pick them up from this area, that area. But we also have this list of messages. The phone doesn't stop
besides
ringing.
that, when you say 200, it can be, they do get so many messages. You have to look for your own.
Yeah, so they generally, because people even call us and say that there are 10 dogs over here, come and pick them up for operation. pedigree, so we don't encourage anything but pedigree. Abandonment, we don't have anything separate. If they come to us, it just goes like a normal dog. If it is good and there are chances of being moving, there are always more chances with those dogs, but then we make it compulsory that a person comes to us for a week to walk the dogs and be friendly with the dogs, because we don't want people taking it because it's a breed dog, which is generally the thing. And a lot of people have arguments with us as to why you people neuter them, but we don't give any dog out without neutering. Even if there's any little bit of pitch there that the puppy that they're taking looks like they were made from it, or you don't let go. Even sometimes you know even them that holding it like this away from their body and all, it just tells you that they're not at all so we don't care. But they're very okay to spread. So, yeah.